悪霊退散.
Fun fact, did you know, before Akuma was announced to be in Tekken 7, it was revealed by Harada that the Capcom guest representative was originally meant to be Darkstalker's character Morrigan, until his team chose Akuma instead. The reasoning as to why Harada went with Akuma instead of Morrigan is simply because of what happened before Tekken 7. Harada has a strong friendship with Ono, the previous head of Street Fighter. Ono left his position at Capcom before Street Fighter 6 came out. And a little bit after that time, Ono walked on stage at EVO 2023 and had this great moment with Harada and Michael Murray. I'll let it play.
What are you doing here? Security! Security!
Hey everyone! Long time no see! Hey Harada, do you remember? We had some homework.
Homework?
Tekken, Crow.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
This was a reference to their original plans to do two games. One, the first one being Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and then if that one did well, they would then do another one, Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Now, I don't really know too much about the actual journey of that game. Some people say it was great, some people say it didn't turn out so well. I hear the DLC situation was kind of controversial. I don't know. But what happened is, after that game and the start of Tekken's new game, they wanted to test how Street Fighter characters would operate in the world of Tekken, with the mechanics, with the gameplay, with everything. At that time, they had some work done for Ryu, but then that eventually changed because, you know, Ryu is so similar to Akuma. It changed into Akuma. Tekken Cross Street Fighter is the central reason Akuma is in Tekken 7. We got pretty far with it, and it was around the 30% complete. Akuma in Tekken 7 came about through the experience and knowledge we gained while working with Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Considering that Akuma was originally a test to see if they should continue their plans with a Tekken Cross Street Fighter, I'll let you guys decide down below if you think it was successful or not. There's many videos on YouTube that categorize him as one of the most broken OP characters in all of Tekken. That's a crazy feat because there's certain characters out there who have grabs that one-shot your opponent, combos that's inescapable, a lot of very crazy things. Akuma is a Street Fighter villain, and he played that role so perfectly in Tekken 7 throughout the game's lifespan, almost too perfectly. When you look at the statistics of that game, you can see that Akuma placed 46 at the end of the game's lifespan. This means that not that many people used the character, which means not that many people was familiar with the matchup, but then also combined with the potential of this character, how powerful he was in that game. It speaks to how this monster was born. I recently did a poll on the channel 5 days ago at the time of recording. Do you want Akuma in Season 2 is what I asked. 72% says no. Akuma is the character that is often requested to show up in Tekken 8. A lot of people attribute the success of Tekken 7 to Akuma. I think there is some truth to that, but there's also many other factors that allow Tekken 7 to go and do what it did. But guest characters is definitely a part of that equation, and how much of that credit can be given to Akuma, I think we'll never know for sure unless the developers say. But for a lot of people, it was enough. It was more than enough. So when we then find the characters' animations in the files, also with properties listed to it, it makes you wonder, what are they doing? We know DLC characters is a big part of fighting games, guest characters even more so. We are assuming that they would do one guest character per season pass. Should they give that one slot to Akuma, or should they go a new route and give it to a new character? At the start of this video, we talked about Morgan from Darkstalkers. I would love that. That's one of my favorite characters, and I could give you 2 good reasons why. Akuma is a legendary character, but Tekken 8 is already dealing with the hard truth that most of the DLC characters will be resold from Tekken 7. Armor King, Julia, Kunimitsu, Lydia, etc., etc., etc. Should we also extend that to guest characters as well? I don't know. It's a question for you guys to answer. When I was doing research for this video, I was looking at Harada's tweets, and it was funny. Akuma was powerful, undisputedly, but it turns out that Harada is like the biggest Akuma down player there is. It's great and rare. Super Gauge, Fool, and Rage. Do you see this kind of scene on a daily basis? And this is something that has been possible for quite some time. But it was finally seen in the tournament. If you complain, you should do this on a daily basis and win each time. Speaking to some of the death combos Akuma used to be able to pull off in that game. He goes on to say, why did he win over Nobi on Friday, even if he used other characters than Akuma? Why do you think they lose when using Akuma in Pakistani tournaments? Their punishment skills were great regardless of character. You see nothing. You are a loser no matter what you do. Bye. We all know that the guest characters in Tekken 7 were really powerful, Geese and Akuma specifically. But one thing that sets Akuma apart from the rest is Akuma's canonical role in Tekken 7. In Tekken 7, Akuma had one duty. A mysterious fighter, a demon. He finds himself in the middle of the Mishima blood feud by pre-existing relationship with Kazumi Mishima, Heihachi's wife, once who saved his life. He debuts in Tekken 7 promising to fulfill a debt owed to Kazumi by killing Heihachi as well as Kazuya Mishima, so he is bound by duty to kill both of those guys. And as we see in Tekken 8, they are both alive and well. Akuma even says in Tekken 7, I will not rest until your demise. Akuma and Kazuya did fight in Tekken 7 2 times. The first one, the fight was interrupted by Heihachi's laser that destroyed the building. This second fight isn't confirmed to be canon or non-canon. Shortly afterwards, Kazuya is once again confronted by Akuma, who also survived the attack at G Corporation Towers, transforming into his devil once again. Kazuya fights Akuma in a heated battle. In the end, Kazuya fires a powerful devil blast at Akuma's Hadouken. The collision destroys the volcanic surroundings. Although the final outcome of the battle is unknown, Kazuya's influence over the world still persists, as G Corporation has not ended the war and various nations face an incoming invasion. One could say that Akuma died here and now. And this is why Akuma is not mentioned throughout all of Tekken 8. Even characters who don't exist in the world, we see them still referenced. Bob is referenced all over the New York City. You see Heihachi being referenced even before his return through characters like Reina, etc. For a character as impactful and as important and as powerful as Akuma, if the developers was planning to bring him back, there would be something there. Some sort of hints, reference, teases, something. His animations being in the files of the game is a pretty big thing. We see this with other characters like Marduk, Fakamram, even Kazumi. Whether or not Akuma will show up in Tekken 8 and will have some kind of story DLC really depends on how you interpret this tweet here from Harada-san. Some people say this is confirmation that we will not get future story DLCs for Tekken 8. Some people look at this, they read it, and they say the opposite. In another news article, Harada talks pluggers, in-game shop, and more. This was done basically 1 year ago at the time of making this video. And in it, Harada was asked, why was Akuma omitted from the lineup? Harada says, Akuma was never a part of the starting roster, as he is not originally a character from Tekken, nor is he a default character. When we think back to what they did with Season 1, when Eddie was revealed, at his Tekken Talk, that is when they officially confirmed the addition of story. What we see with Heihachi is that they brought Heihachi back and they did the story specifically to explain why he returned. So if they do another story edition, it will be because they're trying to explain some character who's a part of the Season 2 past inclusion into Tekken 8. And with Akuma being in the files, that is a big one.